anywhere. Alrighty. My bad. Just trying to get a video to load up here, and it's not. It is not working here. Let me take this video down. Let me go back here. There we go. Hopefully that's a little better. Let's go here. Let's go capture. That's not going to work today. Okay. That's up there. Huh. Well, I am having some difficulty with YouTube. Alrighty. Well, there we go. Hopefully you can hear okay. So, welcome to a Saturday morning stream. Was not able to link up last night with J-Dub. I got offline at 9 o'clock or 9:15. And he reached out to me like right when I was done. Like I literally had to update like 3 or 4 things on the PlayStation, which when it tells you how long it was going to take. Grand total, it was going to take like 2 hours. So played a couple college football games. He was doing a stream with Z. Make sure you go watch that stream. It's pretty good. It's a good stream. They talked about some things we're going to talk about here today, and or this morning, I should say. But first things first, welcome. We've had the Game Awards, and how many of you all were able to sit down and watch them? And then how many of you all enjoyed it? And how many of you all were surprised? I can speak for myself. I was actually surprised. First things first, let's start out the Saturday morning correctly. This is the Porch Light Podcast. I am your humble host. The brother that has his that is your only, it's not YouTube streets, your only truth teller on the streets here of YouTube. We want to call it that. So we will go ahead and get this show started off right. Hopefully it sounds fine. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear okay, and if you can't hear okay, adjust your sound. But shout out to everybody that's here now, and everybody will be in part of the replay game. Make sure if you're in the comment section, asking a question or two, type in hashtag replay gang. That's cool. So I always like reading those comments. But certainly hope that you all are having a good Saturday. Your families are doing well, and your time with your family and friends, make sure you enjoy that time, because it won't always be here, unfortunately. All right, so let's kind of get into it. I will start out with an acknowledgement here of some things that I got wrong on my prediction show, which is we got the games right for you, but not their destination. So Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 16 both showed up. Neither one was announced for Xbox, which is what my understanding was. So I got an email the next day, and I guess that was yesterday, and I didn't read it till like in the evening. But so apparently Final Fantasy VII is going to Xbox, but they will only put it over there after the third one is finished. So, which they're working on right now. So you're looking at possibly 2027, maybe 2026, 2027 for Final Fantasy VII. They did say that they expect Final Fantasy 16 to be announced at some point next year. That there's this, even though Sony, he said that Sony did help them make those games. That's what he is telling me. Sony helped make those games, so Sony still has some say. Shout out to your Ice Queen. So let's see. Your doctor won't get any better time. So I mean, Don, it's okay. Don't. Just remember, you got to take it one day at a time. And if need be, you can process that down to an hour at a time. It's okay. It is okay. Don't feel bad. Hey, when you're down, there's only one way to go. Tears in an ocean. Okay? And I'll definitely be praying for you. If you want to ever talk about anything, just hit me up on, you have my email. So, not my email. You have my Twitter account. And so you can just hit me up, and I'll be more than happy. If I'm around, I have time. Hell, I'll make time to talk to you. It's no problem. So I have a nice shoulder that you can lay I can listen to it and not judge. So But that's up to you. If not, you'll be definitely in our prayers here, my personal prayers, and I'm going to ask the people listening to keep you and your family in their prayers as well. Prayer never hurts anybody, and let's go ahead and do that for her, okay? Let's pray for Ice Queen and pray for her family, and pray for Ice Queen to start feeling better about what's going on. So, all right then. So, all right, Muhammad's in the house. Jimmy Leo is here. Says, what's up? What's going on? So, all right, we'll keep it moving here. So, we got the games right, but got the destination wrong. So, anytime, Ice Queen, anytime. And so that, I have to go ahead and hold the low. I have to go ahead and hold that because that's only fair because I expect anybody else. I always say the other people need to hold their L. And I can go ahead and hold mine too. I'm a big boy. So Black Myth Wukong not being announced. That was a shock. Because why not announce that? And we did see yesterday, I don't know if you all know this, but PlayStation, I don't know about the Xbox not even over there. PlayStation just got a big update on Black Myth Wukong. I guess it has a stable 30. I mean, I'm not playing Black Myth Wukong. So it has a stable 30 mode, and I guess now it has a quality mode of 40, and it is locked, and it has a 40 FPS mode with 120 hertz, and that apparently, again, I'm not playing the game. If people are playing the game, you can leave a comment. That apparently is much, 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 much better. Again, that's short according to several people. Big shout out to Gamer Tech. He just did a big, like a 10-minute podcast on it, on what's different. So make sure you all go check that brother out. He's doing a really good job, especially if you have HDR and what do they use? Is it HGIG or LLR, whatever it's called, low latency, whatever it's called. He auto low latency mode, ALLM. There, it came back to. So make sure you all give that brother a shout out, okay? Make sure you give the brother a shout out, all right? So at the end of the day, Black Myth Wukong is playing better on PlayStation if you have it. This is why people have asked me, how come I haven't gotten these games? Well, if they're being patched, I'm not going to play. And that's just you're acting as a beta tester for the game to be patched, and that's what you did. Now, I might go buy it today. So I'm in a dilemma, people. I am in a dilemma, and I do need your help. I need to take an unofficial vote here. Should I go buy Black Myth Wukong, or should I go buy Space Marine? All right, and then let me ask you this: is either one of them out for physical? Okay, is any one of these out for physical? Because I'm only gonna buy it physically because I got a GameStop card with like $40 on it. So, so what's up, Nova Red? I'm sorry. Bonjour, Nova Red. Nova Red, I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm glad you're doing okay. I wanted to be able to wish you and your family, if you celebrate the holidays, want to make sure to wish you and your family a happy holiday. I want to do that for everybody. D Nice, certainly wish you and your family one as well. Anybody that's in the chat that I see your name, shout out to Mr. Muhammad. I'm assuming. And I shouldn't assume. I'm assuming that you may not celebrate Christmas, but celebrate the holiday that you got. So, shout out to everybody. I'm really trying to get. Is it video capture? No, it's not video capture. I have no idea why this isn't working. Hold on here. I mean, this is actually frustrating. I am having some issues with YouTube though. Here, let me take this down, and let me try one more time here, and then we'll get started on the show here. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the whole woke thing. I want to give a shout out here to MBG, who I will give credit. He tried to have a conversation about it, albeit it was shitty. but he tried and he failed, but at least he tried. What got me, and this is what surprised me actually, is he said that he was not going to, the people who are attacking other people, he said he's not going to do anything about that in his chat. That I'm sorry, that's a surprise. That is actually disappointing, because he pretty much is a stand-up guy. But overall, when he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna block people because of what they're saying. I mean, he went into why, but I'm like, okay, that's just bullshit. So I'm not going to sit up here and tell another man how to run his show. That is not my style. However, I will say I am disappointed that he has decided to do that. For me, I'm going to go into the history of it, and then we'll just take it from there. Okay, now it's working. So we'll go ahead and get this done right now, and then we'll start the show. Here we go.
And the game of the year is... And the game of the year is... ASTROBOT!
All right. So I'm going to give a personal congratulations to the creators of ASTROBOT. Now, I want to make this clear. I've only played ASTROBOT off the free thing, and I only played it for about 45 minutes because I'm just not a big platform guy. This is why, as much as I enjoy running around with Ratchet and Clank, I'm just not a big platform guy. It's just not my type of game. I'm not going to attack it. And the reason why I haven't played ASTROBOT is they actually went in on their acceptance speech, which was very well done, congratulating the Mario games. And you got to understand, in the 80s, when you bought a Nintendo, or when your parents bought a Nintendo, it came with Mario, and all you did was jump and all that kind of stuff. Is jump and run and jump. And it's kind of like, okay, I kind of grew out of that. And when I grew out of that, I stopped playing platforming games. So the fact that a platforming game, and when you look at the game of the years over the last 10 years on Jeff Keighley's show, now this because it's game of the year on Jeff Keighley's show, I mean, I've seen people leave comments like, oh, look, a single player game, one game of the year. Well, there's only been, out of 10 years, only 2 games that were multiplayer have one game of the year. One was It Takes Two. I do believe that is a co-op game. And then Overwatch won. So, and that's an online game because people were basically saying that, well, because when Overwatch won, that all the multiplayer stuff was going to start taking over. I remember that was the big fight. It hasn't happened, but ever since 2018, so for Sony has won Game of the Year 50% of the time since 2018. God of War won in 18. The Last of Us won in 2020, and now ASTROBOT won. I keep forgetting that that's a Sony first party game. And I love their speech because when he said we decided to make a game, not that it was difficult, that's a shot at Elden Ring. They didn't want to make a game that was difficult. They didn't want to make a game that was challenging. They wanted to make a game that was fun. And I still think that's, and if you want to know why I left, quote unquote, the Pony Nation, if you want to call it that, that's why. Because I just want to, when I play games, and I only play for an hour, maybe 2 hours a day, when I do play. Now I play a little longer on the weekends, but at Friday nights, if I have nothing to do, my girlfriend works Friday and Saturday nights, so she claims, right? Well, I know she's out there on a pole, but she says she works Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sunday nights. So I will game from about 7 o'clock to usually about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. But you know, I'm just telling you my story. People are like, well, how come you haven't played it yet? It's because I don't like platforms. And you add to the fact that stupid song that it plays. Like, I can't stand that song. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that song. It keeps on saying, I am Astrobot. Okay, you told me that. What else can you tell me? I mean, please stop telling me you are Astrobot. Obviously, you introduced yourself. You're an Astrobot. Okay, but what else do you do? What else are you? Okay, no different than when Sekiro shadows died twice. Well, how come the shadow couldn't die the first time? Like, why didn't you all kill the shadow? And which is just terrible. You know, you all got to kill a shadow twice, and then you had that other stupid game, Dying Light. I mean, how come the lights got to keep dying? Dying Light too. So, I'm just kind of being facetious here, but ultimately, you all understand what I'm saying. And but congratulations, and you know this whole thing. I hope I'm glad it's over with because I'm sick and tired of the back and forth with the Xbox community. As somebody who's actually physically had conversations with them, what it comes down to with them is that they have spent. Yeah, like a guy told me, he got his first Xbox when he was 13 years old. His mom and dad bought it for him. So he now is 30 years old. So he's had an Xbox longer than he's been alive. His Xbox, he's extended that. And he has all these Xbox games, which, because he plays his games, right? And he doesn't want that ecosystem to go away. And he literally felt that Sony is out here trying to destroy Microsoft's Xbox, which they are. They're not wrong about that. But he's looking at it like they're personally attacking him. Because, you know, where his mother, God rest her soul, has gone home, that's the way he connects. He said he always thinks about his mom and dad because they bought him his first Xbox. So, and he's like, if that goes away, I don't know what I'll do. I'm like, okay. So, oh, what's that say, Nova Red? Bonjour, Atois? Am I saying that right? Or is that just the way you say bonjour? I mean, that's a... Nova Red's in here getting all classy on me. I'm getting scared. Scared, Nova Red. Scared. So that's, you know, it's kind of like, okay, so that is the issue. That is the issue with them. With a lot of them, it's they don't want this ecosystem that they have invested time and money in to go away. And that's what they see happen. That's why everything Xbox is doing, they're agreeing with it. Oh, everything's an Xbox. Yes. Everything's an Xbox. Everything's an Xbox. Yes, that's fine. Everything can be an Xbox. Just don't take away our ecosystem. Okay. Xbox no longer has the most powerful console. Yes, that's right. It does it. Okay. Just don't take this away from us. That's what you're dealing with. Okay? So that's what you're dealing with. Yes, there is another Dono War on, so that I can go ahead and get my hands on a DualSense Edge. It costs $200, and I either have to keep the lights on or get the controller. And I want the controller, and the lights may go out, so y'all got to help keep the lights on and keep the water running, and keep all that stuff, so I can go get soap and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you all hit the like button and donate if you can. So yes, if you can. So, but ultimately, that's why I'm not playing ASTROBOT, is because I don't like platformers. But were you all? Here's a question. You have to pay attention. Were you all surprised that ASTROBOT won? Were you surprised? Because apparently, according to people, it's the highest rated game of the year. Apparently, have you do the ratings? ASTROBOT is the highest rated game of the year. So why would you be surprised that the highest rated game won? And then what did you expect to win? All right, out of everything that was up there, did you expect that card game to win? Did you expect the Black Myth Wukong to win? I mean, I'm just asking. I'm not criticizing. It's just because it's all opinion based, right? And if your opinion, Black Myth Wukong should have won, okay, that's fine too. Because every game that's nominated should win, because they are the best games of the year nominated by press and the fans. So, and that's fine. That is fine as well. But I was not surprised that ASTROBOT won. Now, I just finished watching this morning. I watched the first 2.5 hours on Sick Humor's channel, and then I finished watching it this morning. I got up like at 7:30, and I finished watching it. Sick Humor sounded authentically surprised that ASTROBOT won. So, and Nova Red says Black Myth was called. It just based on the way they brought the way the awards were dillied out. ASTROBOT crushed it this year. Okay, ASTROBOT crushed it this year. So, and congratulations. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. So, yes, I need a Dono War to prevent me from starving with no roof over my head. Y'all have to give me super chat money. There you go. Exactly. But it literally sounds like, and give big shout out to Nova Red, not Nova Red, I'm sorry, Reforged Gaming. I got Nova Red's comment right there. Shout out to him, because when ASTROBOT came out, the first 3 days it came out, he said this is going to win Game of the Year. I mean, so shout out to him. He's the first person I heard call it was him. So big shout out to him. So, yes, Nova Red. Let's see here. Big shout out to Nova Red. Okay, I love the fact. See, there's somebody in England listening, and then we're going by the truth system here. Nova Red is allegedly is in the what? Are you in the south of France, or the north of France, or are you just downtown? Downtown in Paris. The ASTROBOT had the most journalists playing it. Most journalists couldn't play it. So, yeah, and again, I love what they said. They said we didn't want to make a game that was too hard. We didn't want to make a game that was too hard, too difficult. We just wanted to make a game that's fun. And for me, that's what I game for. I game just to have fun. And, and again, if you like difficult games because that's more fun for you, I think that's fine as well. But that's not why I'm gaming, like when I play Resident Evil. That's why I keep saying to you that Resident Evil game, that guy chasing me around with that black hat, y'all called him what, Mr. Paris? Okay, cool. And even Miss Nova Red said that Paris at night, she cracked me up. She was like, well, I'm used to Paris, but I guess at night it is pretty. Because all you hear in the United States is that how beautiful Paris is, at night, and that Paris, you will leave Paris with full amore in your heart. See, that means love, I believe. So look at me knowing a little bit of French here. So, but I play games to have fun. not to really be challenged. But so when that dude is chasing me around in Resident Evil, talking about the remake, Resident Evil 2, shout out to Capcom who just brought the pain. These Resident Evil games, is it 4, 5, and 6 or 4? 4 is like 120 FPS on the Pro. So this is, people are like, why come we're getting the Pro? That's why. That's why we got the Pro. Now, I'm still playing Resident Evil 4. I like it in a sense because I like shooting those idiots in their heads, but they keep coming back. Like Shadows die twice, right? These people keep dying twice. But ultimately, that's unsettling for me. Now, other people are like, well, it makes it more challenging because it makes you feel unsettled. But I don't want to feel unsettled. Resident Evil is already unsettling enough. So yeah, I was gonna get to that lightning uppercut. Yeah, great. That was my next topic actually. So you kind of stole my thunder. Yeah, good point. Great point. Look at what lightning uppercut just said about what these Sony fanboys, the ponies, said. Sony's going in the wrong direction. They just won Game of the Year. I mean, what is that? Sony's not worried about people jumping over to PC. Okay, they're not. Because Sony knows how much a PC costs to give you the exact same thing you have the Pro. So yeah, Sony going to, remember, that was said by Persona. Persona Speaks. He said they were going in the wrong direction. So you all need to, if they podcast at some point, you need to ask him, hey, Persona, do you think you were wrong about saying Sony was going in the wrong direction? They've obviously had tremendous success in the last 30 months. I mean, they've had tremendous success. So just ask him about it. I'm not going to do it. That's what you guys are for. You guys are the listening audience. You all need to start calling out BS or whatever my generation calls it BS. I don't know what your generation would call it. I'm Gen X. We just say this was coming out of this guy's mouth is bullshit. Okay? Now, Plus Ultra says Astrobot themes are fire. I can't get into it. It just keeps on saying it's Astrobot. Like, okay, when you say that one time, you got to move on to something else. And it won't do it. It just keeps on saying I am Astrobot. And again, I'm not knocking the game because I haven't really played it. So, and everybody that played it loved it. So what am I going to do? Say you're wrong? You know what I'm saying? Nick Johnson's right. Sony's out here busting people's cheeks. I mean, they are. And I've got a new name. We're going to start calling Sony Purple Passion. Because Purple Passion can just throw the key down and bust your cheeks whenever he wants. And that's what Sony's doing. So, they lost billions when they failed to get sales numbers. That's because they trade based on the early sale. And technically, you can't lose what you never had. Okay? You can't. So are you saying, okay, really think about what you just said. They don't own From Software, but their stocks have jumped up, like 13%? Just for announcing that they might buy it. So how are they gaining value and they don't have anything? You all not understand what that means. You don't understand the way stocks are done. They're done based on potential. Henceforth, why they'll say at the end of a quarter, well, we missed our sales by 3%, but our operating costs were lower. Again, because everything's projected. So we're projected to do 80% and we do 77%. We come under and our company will shrink, but it will shrink based on something that's not real. That's what we're trying to say to you all. It's obviously they're not going in the wrong direction. If they won Game of the Year, they have record sales and they have record profits. That's not going, and they're fine. They're actually going in the correct direction. So yeah, we're gonna get into the whole woke conversation because you all need to understand where it came from and what different people think it means. But we'll go from there. We'll keep talking about it here. But again, I want to congratulate AstroBot. Sony, again, 50% of the games that have come out in the last 6 years, 50% that have been nominated for GOTY, Sony has won it 50% of the time. Again, 2018, 2020, now 2024. So, and you can make the argument that God of War Ragnarok almost won. Make sure you get the likes up, people. Come on now. Let's give me the 30, 35 likes. All we're asking of you here. So, and yeah, also, I want to congratulate MBG. If I hadn't, he hit 100,000. I think that's fantastic. Also, congratulations to your favorite YouTuber. I think he hit 60,000. So that's great. As long as Telsa is a stock success with the fewest sales, you said it's not rash. I agree. You should watch The Wolf of Wall Street. Nothing they do makes sense. Nothing they do makes sense. So yeah. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving on. And so I mean, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And yeah, if you want to take me to task over Final Fantasy and Black Myth Wukong not being announced for Xbox. And again, let me ask you another question. Is Outer Worlds 2 being day and date on PlayStation? Did that surprise you? Because it surprised the hell out of me. Seriously, I'm like, whoa. When did that? I was like, whoa. Because I knew what it was as soon as that guy came on talking, kind of being silly. Because Outer Worlds is it's supposed to be a funny kind of a takeoff on Fallout. You know, it's kind of a joke about Fallout. So, but let me see if I can bring up one more thing. Shout out to Jeff Keighley using his one more thing. I think he's gonna try to patent saying that. So let me look at some things here. I'm just trying to pull this up here. Come on. Let's see here. Trying to find. Oh, here we go. I found it. So we're gonna put this on the screen because I'm gonna finally end this whole thing on the PS5 Pro being more powerful than a 4090. Okay. We're gonna finally end it here. Okay. So we're gonna look at the Final Fantasy specs. First things first. All right. First things first. Any other questions or comments about the game of the year? What games are you all looking forward to? Was there any games that you saw that you were like, damn, I can't believe they're bringing this back? Whether it be Onimusha, whether it be the Witcher. I mean, did anything really, for me, the two games that stood out were the games that, the Witcher game was all CGI. I don't have a problem with Ciri being older because there's going to be a time jump. However, if you played Witcher 3, and we're going to get into this conversation. Well, I'll say that for the last conversation, but I'm just leaving it on the games. Were you surprised at Witcher? Which game or set of games did you see that you were like, damn, I can't believe it? For me, it was the Witcher game and then Onimusha. That Onimusha, if you had a PS2, Onimusha was like the GOAT game. You had to play that game, even though it wasn't a great story. It was still really, really good. So those are my two games. And what two games or more stood out to you? All right, so we're gonna look at these are the PC specs for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. All right, and remember, this is the first iteration of PSRR or PSSR, and it's going to get better. And this, you will follow this logically, and you will be able to say, damn, PlayStation is more powerful than a 4090. Okay, here we go. So here are your specs, and this comes from, I didn't make this up, this comes from White Zaddy. Okay, this comes from Zaddy. So if you got any problems with this, you take it up with your Zaddy, okay? Here are your specs. All right, now if you just want to play minimum, okay? Quality graphics low. This is minimum. Are you listening? In order to play minimum to build a PC that's going to do 1080p 30, this is what we were doing with the Xbox One and the PS3 and all that kind of stuff, okay? they're recommending the Windows 10 64-bit. So again, if you're building a PC and they ask you what kind of OS you want, you say, I want the 10, I want Windows 10 or Windows 11 64-bit. That's where you start. Now you're going to go to the store or go online, wherever you want to do it, and you're going to order a CPU. And clearly it says here a Ryzen 5 1400, that's terrible. And then an Intel, these are entry-level CPUs. Now you get to the graphics card, and now you can see the RX AMD 6600, the Intel Arc 1580, or the GeForce 2060. Now, they are even saying that the AMD requires the later model, 6600. So, and it says GeForce series or later models required. So they're basically saying you can't get the early versions of these. You have to get the later versions. Minimum, you need 16 gigabytes. Now, it doesn't say the speed of your memory. And you need 155 gigabytes SSD. That's minimum. I remember, shout out to the PC community who said, Craig, you need to get an SSD, get off that hard drive memory, whatever it was called, because everything's switching to SSD. And I kind of begrudgingly did it. Okay? So, also says that GPU memory of 12 gigabytes. So that's why you need 16. You need memory if a 4K monitor is used. So, I mean, you all can look all that up. You want to. Here's what they recommend for you just to get 1080p 60. This to get 1080p 60. This would be equivalent to a PS4 or close to it. This is a little bit better than a PS4, right? Really close to a PS5. All right. Are you listening? This is in order for you to play at 1080p 60. Now remember, what are most PC games? I gotta get some water. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Literally, I could tell my body was screaming. Okay. Now remember, the PC community that came at me, most of these bare-ass booty clowns are playing at 1080p 60. You have to remember that. Do not let them lie to you and say that's not what they're doing. The collective is playing at 1080p 60, and they're playing friggin' kitchen simulator because they ain't got girlfriends to go into the kitchen and bake them a pie. So you need to play at 1080p 60, which is where the majority of the PC gamers are, because remember, they spec their PCs to what those idiots on Steam told them to do. Here you go. Are you listening? This is what you need to play at 1080p 60. Alrighty. You need a Ryzen CPU. All right, and now you're saying you got to get Windows 11. So you got Windows 10, you going to be down here in the minimum. You got to get Windows 11. This to play at 1080p. You need a Ryzen 5600 or the 5600X. You need or the 37, or you can go to the very next thing. Because again, this CPU here and here have similar performance. The i7-8700 CPU. This is a very good CPU. Okay? I would go with the i7 if anything. But look right here. You need a 6700 or a 2070. But you're at 1080p 60. Okay? Still the same amount of storage, same amount of memory recommended. 12 gigabytes or greater recommended if 4K monitor is used. Okay. Here's ultra settings. Now, right here, all this right here is roughly where your PlayStation 5 Pro is. Okay? This is ultra settings on a PC. And now we're gonna build this PC. So let me write this down. Okay? But we still don't know about the speed of the memory. Okay? Let's see here. And we're gonna subtract out the television set. So we're going to need Win 11. We're going to need a Ryzen CPU with 700X. RDI 710. Okay. 7900 XTX. And then a 4080. Okay. You will need to play at 4K 60, which is what your PlayStation Pro is playing. Okay. You need Windows 11. You need a Ryzen 7 5700X or an i7 1070. You need a 79 XTX. This right here, this is the highest graphics card that AMD makes right now. Remember, this 8000 series is not out yet. The 8000 series is not out yet. This is an RDNA 3 card. RDNA 4 will be the 8000 series. RTX 4080. God damn. Let's just see how much the 4080 costs. Now we have this up on the screen. Well, let's start with that's to get 2160. And now let's just start with Windows. Let me see here. Let's go Windows 11. Windows 11 64-bit price. All right, there you go. $139. $139 to get Windows 11. But let's keep on going. We're at the menu here. Let's do the i7. Got the name of that number. Let's do i7. Let's see what pulls up here. Because this is the CPU they were recommending. What is it? I can't remember the name of the CPU. It was somewhere in the 10s, wasn't it? No, that's wrong. i7 CPU. What are we looking at here? i7 CPU. Let's just say 10. I have to keep ringing. I don't even know where that's coming from. I don't know what that is. Weird. Okay. Let's keep going. By gosh. So, I can't find it. Well, let's just do the Horizon. Okay. 5700X CPU. Alrighty. Let's see if we have one in stock. The 58s are $239. They may not have them in stock. Well, let's just do this the old-fashioned way, ladies and gentlemen. My Best Buy looks like they're out of stock. 700 CPU. Alrighty. Found one. $129.96. So that's going to be $130. And while we're here, we're going to look at the AMD 7900 XTX. Wow, look at that. That's what it recommended. XTX, right? XTX, $891. So it's $891 plus about $130. What are we looking at there? And this is before you get your motherboard and your memory and your SSD and the case to put it in. You are looking at, let me see here. Let's put that on the calculator here. Oh, there it is. So we're looking at $891 plus $130. You're looking at over $1,000, and that's not including the case, and everything else. So, and again, let me make this clear. This is the second iteration. The first iteration of PSSR. In order for them to run Final Fantasy at Ultra, which is what we're running it at $700, they are already at $1,000, and they haven't even hooked anything up yet. So it is fucked up what these dudes are trying to say. All right? It is fucked up what these guys are saying. It just is. Just is. All right? It just is. These guys are straight clowns. And they're trying to, literally trying to tell you, oh, you get a PC, doesn't not for under, at this point in time, not for under about $2,200. Monty White said this is why they were bothered. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't it was the price to affect on the technology. That's why they're so scared. And we're already at, and we're just, the console is not even 90 days old, and it's already it's already at a 4080. Imagine what it's going to be in 3 more months. What it's going to be able to do. And in 3 months after that, you will surpass, as I have said, the 4090, and you will have a console more powerful than a 4090. And I dare one of them to try to come and say something. I dare them. What do you have to lose? What are you going to do? Say that the price isn't that price? Or are they going to say what? Well, I can just go and get it for cheaper. Yeah, and I can bust your cheeks for free. I mean, it makes no sense. They just need to shut up. That's ultimately what they just need to shut up. So, they just do. I wanted to get that out of the way because I am sick and tired of them just saying anything. They are playing Kitchen Simulator, Goat Simulator, and that train game. What's it called? I forgot the name of the game. The train game. It'll train you how to drive a train, which I am fine with. So, but y'all they need to shut up. They just need to shut up. All right, then. So let me get to, I'm trying to see if I can put a picture up here. See here. I don't know if I can or not. It's not allowing me to add. Oh, actually it did. Hold on. We may be on to something here. That's not gonna work. It's a catastrophic failure. Okay, so it's not gonna let me pull these pictures up. Okay. Alrighty. Well, okay, hold on. Let me try another way. There's always another way. See if this will work. It probably won't either. Let me put that there. You go to screen capture. I don't know if this will work or not. I have never tried this before. No, it's not going to work. Okay. So let me take that down. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay. Let me try to, well, no, I'm not even going to try another picture. So, all right then. I want to really talk about the whole quote unquote woke thing and what it really means and what it doesn't mean. So, I'm trying to tackle this. I was going to try to tackle it lightly, but there's just no other way to do it except to go in with a pretty heavy-handed on it. So, in essence, what woke means is anti-white heterosexual male. Anti-white heterosexual male. Let me try one more thing here. And let me let's see here. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Bear with me here for 20 seconds. I've got that Astrobot song on my head now. I need to find, hold on, let me find images. Don't know if it's gonna let me. Okay. Yep, here we go. I don't know if it's gonna let me show this though. That's the problem. Nah, it keeps on breaking it down. Okay, all right. So let me go back. Maybe it'll let me show this one. It may not. It may not. So here, let me try it. Let me try it. Here we go. There's that. I'm trying to pull a picture out of my file, and it's not allowing me to do it. Okay, it did. Okay. Now, you want to know who that is? That is Sigourney Weaver playing a character from the movie Alien. I think this is from Alien 3. And so as you can see, of course, this is when she was younger. Her character has a shaved head. Her character was a kick-ass character named Ellen Ripley. Well, according to these white guys, this would be woke. This movie came out in, like, let's see here. Hold on. Alexa, when did the movie Alien 3 come out? Oh. Alexa. Oh, it is Alien Q because it's 3. Okay. So this movie came out in 1990. According to these guys, this is woke. Okay? That picture of her, her character has been around since 1979, is woke. Again, 1979. And basically, they believe that, if you want to know the Naughty Dog's new game, shout out to Naughty Dog, it looks interesting. We have not seen any gameplay. I think that was captured in engine, so that's what the game looks like right now. But we have not seen physical gameplay. What did we see? We saw product placement. We saw Sony product placement. We saw Porsche product placement. The shoes she has on are Adidas's, and I guarantee you, those Adidas's are going to be out for sale that light up. I'm telling you right now, those Adidas's are going to be out. You'll be able to buy them, and they'll light up for you. Okay? They were orange and white or whatever color they were, blue and white. So these guys are saying that I don't want to play as a female. See, it keeps changing. It literally keeps changing. It's I'm being forced to play as a female. And you're not being forced because they act like being forced means you had a choice. You have a choice to either buy it or not buy it. That's your choice as a consumer. As a consumer. Nova Red is right. I agree. They're hiding their racism behind saying woke. They're hiding their racism and their misogyny behind saying woke. Now, women can be misandrous. Those are female feminists. They're misandrous. Okay? And the game Assassin's Creed Shadows, that game is all of a sudden, I don't know how that's woke. That's got a Japanese girl and a samurai in it. So, or a ward, or however you want to put it. But the character that you saw, and Naughty Dog has said it's got a lot of the movie Alien. You have to go back. If you want to understand what the movie Alien was like in 1979, you'd have to watch Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus looks just like, it's filmed the same way. You have the same sound effects. It is shot the same way. It is edited the same way. The camera angles are the exact same. The cinematography is the same. In close, cramped quarters, not a lot of space. They wanted you to feel claustrophobic. They nailed that in Romulus. So they borrowed a lot of things. Remember, this comes in 1986 when the most popular series, what Alien was a very popular series in the late 70s going into the mid 80s, right? It was a very popular series. So, that's what this woke stuff is. So here's what I don't get, and I'm going to say this, and I mean it. I mean it. Black people, we have been told to work harder, to get it out the mud. You just need to work harder. And then, so that's what we did. the reason why you don't have games with black characters is that you all aren't even in school to learn how to do it. Okay, that's exactly what we did. Then it became, oh, well, now you have the education, but you're not in a position to make these decisions. Okay, that has happened. That has happened. And now it's, oh, well, now this is being forced down our throat. Guess what? You're right, it is. It is. And you know, instead of putting up all these obstacles, and again, what you're looking at, that's exactly what your character looks like in the Naughty Dog game. This is what your character looks like. Bald, shaved head. Ripley shaved her head, I think, in Alien 3. I think that picture is from Alien 3. Or Alien Cubed, if you want to call it that. So, yes, it's being forced down your throat. Probably because the opportunities were stolen or not given or not, if you want to say they weren't earned, but it's like every time you get through one door, another door closes. And so now it's done doing that. Naughty Dog has had women in positions that you're using them. If you play Uncharted 1 or 2, don't you play as the female for a little bit? I can't remember if it's Uncharted 1 or 2. I can't remember. In Uncharted Lost Legacy, you're playing as a female. Okay? In The Last of Us, you're playing as first a guy, then a female. But what these guys thought, and MBG said something yesterday that I thought, as a medical professional, I about died. When he said that what is happening is these guys are seeing themselves in these characters. And then this goes back to something that DJ Vlad said to Tariq Nasheed years ago, when he said the reason why white guys act like this is because they don't see themselves in these characters, so they get upset. Now, he said this a half a decade ago. He said it a half a decade ago. And now that's what you're seeing come to fruition. I am glad MBG acknowledged up front that there are a bunch of guys out here who want to play as white males. So I'm going to add this. If you are a white heterosexual male and you want to look at another man, you must be gay. You're gay. Because only a gay man wants to look at another man's butt. That's the truth. Now, Naughty Dog makes a different kind of RPG. They don't let you build your character from the beginning like BioWare does. BioWare lets you build your character from the beginning. The other one, not BioWare, Sugar Free. The guys who, Bethesda lets you build your character from the jump. You can be male, female. In Fallout 4, they let you pick what your daddy looked like, and they let you pick what your mommy looked like, and then the AI created a character based on what both those characters look like. That was, to me, that's the way it should be done going forward. I thought that was unprecedented. I'm like, damn, they can do this? And that was Fallout 4. And again, let me make that clear. You chose the way your mama looked, from her complexion down to her eyebrows, down to her lips, down to her cheekbones, down to her height, her weight. And they let you do the same thing for the man. And then they created a character that looked like that. No different than in Mass Effect Andromeda. When you create your character, whatever your character's complexion is and things like that, they will make your father look similar to that. And so to me, this is just me personally, that to me is, if I were making an RPG, I would say, yeah, look, the character, Skyrim, all those games, those are Bethesda games. They allow you to make your own character. So I thought that, and with Naughty Dog, they actually go out and they take real people and they hire them to do the face acting, and then they may hire somebody else to do the voice acting. Like Guerrilla Games used that model, that I think she's Dutch, to play Aloy. They scanned her face and they scanned her body, but then they used another woman's voice. And they could be doing that with this girl. And again, to me, the model already has short hair. I mean, I've seen her and the model has short hair. It's like, okay, well, why do you care? And maybe she only has short hair for this period of time. And maybe she has longer hair as the game goes on. I don't know. The video game that I play called Detroit Become Human, when you use Kara, if you get to a certain point in the game, you can change the way her hair looks. You can make her, I think, redhead or brunette or blonde. Because I kept on seeing the commercials. I'm like, how come their Kara's blonde in the commercial and mine got dark hair? Like, you know, I thought maybe it was just an editing mistake. But then I finished the game, and again, the only time you get to play as a white male is as an android. So to me, if you are self-identifying with a character on a screen that ain't real, you got another problem. Now, if you are going to sit up here and say, as a heterosexual man, I only want to play with a heterosexual man, I think you gay. I mean, that's just my opinion. You're gay. And it's okay that you're gay. All right, but we're going to pin you as gay. And I'm not judging it. I'm not knocking it. If you like to take a man's butt, go take a man's butt, right? That's what Chocolate Thunder be doing. He be taking a man's butt. He even tells you to get it ready for him. That's fine. So that is to me now, when I played Assassin's Creed, in the first Assassin's Creed, Origins, you play Origins, you have to play as a Egyptian magi. Okay, that's fine. What if I told you these same white guys were saying the Egyptians weren't black? Can somebody tell me where Egypt is? I literally said, where's Egypt? Africa. Egypt is in Africa. So if you go look at Egyptian hieroglyphics and pictures, there ain't no, they are dark skinned. Now I think they were different colors, but they are mostly dark skinned because everything that comes out of Africa is dark. Okay? The sun that's heating the planet thinks you're dark. That's why people put on suntan lotion. We've seen the video. Hold on. I need to answer this, I guess. All right, I'm back. Sorry. So this whole thing of adding another layer, again, let me make this clear. I'm all for somebody saying to work harder. I want to make that clear. I say, yes, you should work harder. But once you get the skill set you need, I mean, and I'm going to repeat an Asian actor named Mani Jocko. Mani Jocko, he was also in The Acolyte. That's the Asian actor in The Acolyte that played the Dark Jedi. Okay, his name in real life is Manny Jocko. I think that in Acolyte they call him the Stranger. Okay, what he said off camera I thought was very important because again, there were a lot of people, Asian people in Hollywood, that could not get roles, just like before. There was a bunch of Latinos that couldn't get roles. As a matter of fact, Vin Diesel, who's Latino, if you didn't know, he went ahead and he did a 30-minute documentary about how hard it is to be a Latino and get a job in Hollywood. Well, Steven Spielberg saw that documentary and he hired Vin Diesel to play in a movie called Saving Private Ryan. Now, when Vin Diesel was on the set of Saving Private Ryan, he met a producer named Rich Rodriguez, and Rich Rodriguez, they hit it off. Him and Rich Rodriguez said, here, I'm going to give you a script and you read about this character and let me know what you think. I think you'll like this. You know that movie, that the character that he ended up playing was named Dom, and the name of the movie was called The Fast and the Furious. So Steven Spielberg, a quote-unquote white guy, gave Vin Diesel a break, not because Vin Diesel had his hand out, but because Vin Diesel actually made a short documentary and said, you need and try to do this. Same thing happened with Ice Cube. Ice Cube got cast in a movie called Three Kings, and he met Mark Wahlberg and George Clooney, a fellow Kentuckian, George Clooney. And George Clooney was like, man, you're nailing this stuff. You're good at it. Do you have anything that you're writing that, that could be put to script? And Ice Cube was. And that movie that he was writing, I believe, is called Friday. So again, you take the opportunity where you get it. LL Cool J got cast in the movie Deep Blue Sea. LL Cool J got cast because he ran into Samuel Jackson, who actually was already a working actor in Hollywood. LL Cool J's character ended up having to do what in the movie? Play a damn cook. So play a menial role, but his character as a cook was supposed to die. But I think Samuel Jackson went to the director and said, no, my character can die. Let him live. And so LL took the role. He became, and it's a joke because he's now one of the first black people to survive a disaster movie type. And it's like an ongoing joke. The first person they kill off in these movies is a black person. In that movie, they allowed the black person to live. And even at Independence Day in 1996, Will Smith was able to save the world, okay? And you go back before Independence Day, in Terminator 2, a black person played Joe Morton. Shout out to Joe Morton, another accomplished black actor. He destroyed the world. So everybody was like, Will Smith saving the world in Independence Day was makeup for Joe Morton destroying the world. So we thought it was funny. So my whole point is that these guys are going to say, if it's not a straight white heterosexual male, first things first, in my opinion, I prefer create my own characters. Okay, that's just me. But Ubisoft doesn't allow that. So in the first Assassin's Creed, again, your character is Muslim. In the very first, not Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm talking about the first Assassin's Creed. Okay, you can't even pronounce his name. Like, I mean, let me see if I can. Well, I'm not even gonna put his name up on the screen, but he's Muslim. Okay. He's Muslim. They're fighting who? Who is the enemy of the assassins? The arch enemy of the assassins. It's the Templars. The Templars are who? They're the modern day Crusaders. They're the Christians. And the Muslims don't like the Christians. That's to this day. Christians don't get along. They don't get along. Now that's in the Bible, that they would never get along. I think God told Ishmael that he be the champion of a great land, and forgot the other, maybe Abraham. I can't remember which one it is. I don't want to misquote. But God also said, but children will be fighting each other to the end of time. And that's exactly what you're seeing. Okay? That's what you're seeing, right? Right? Didn't Israel go blow the hell out of Hamas, and now they got they blew the hell out of Hezbollah? And they're blowing the hell out of Hamas. They're fighting each other. So the Templars are the Christians. But again, my point is that I did not have a choice in who I played in Assassin's Creed until I think what was it? The one Assassin's Creed, it allows you to use the men on the guy on some missions, and they allows you to use the girl on some missions. And I forgot the name of that Assassin's Creed. It's the one that's in England. You know, and now I can't think of the name of it. I'm serious. I'm having a brain fart. Syndicate. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It allows you to have a use a man and female, and I think they continue that now. Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Odyssey, okay, they allow you to use either a man or a woman. That was something they decided to do. Use the woman. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can use a man or a woman. It made more sense to use the man because the conversation, especially when you get to Asgard, it's like, are you here in Asgard? And they're talking about your Thor. Now, there is a female Thor, and that's fine. But the conversation, Will, was making no sense. It was making no sense. And so I'm like, well, let me go back and use the guy. So I went back and used the guy. And I'm like, okay, now the conversation makes more sense. Whereas in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, using the woman, Cassandra, made more sense. And that's like, well, why is Cassandra so powerful? People are like, well, she's OP. Yeah, she's Atlantean. She's almost their version of Wonder Woman. Died as Cassandra multiple times. She wasn't all powerful. So, but she was, but her character, I think, was supposed to be 6'1", about 215 pounds, and was just power. So yeah, she can hold her own in a fight. You know, if you try to fight somebody who's 6'1", 215 pounds, and is trained, and she was descended from the Atlanteans. That's why she was so powerful. That's why when you swam with Cassandra and or Alexio, whatever his name was, Alexius, both of them could hold their breath a long time underwater. Well, it's because they were friggin' part Atlantean. So that's why. But I'm just letting the people know that's where this shit's coming from. And you just have a group of people. And that's what cracks me up about when J-Tech talks about stuff being woke, like Negro. Look in the mirror. They talking about people who look like you and me getting less opportunities, even though you've busted your ass to get to where you are. So now if I worked at Naughty Dog, and it's like, okay, they came to me and said, create a character, my character is going to look like me. It just is. It's going to look like me. And so if Naughty Dog's direction, because again, Returnal worked. And that, to me, that game, I don't know about you, that now I haven't seen gameplay, but when I saw that chick with a sword or whatever she had, when I saw her with the sword and jump up in the air and go down on that robot or that machine, I'm like, this is like Returnal. This is like Returnal. So I'm just saying, it looks like Returnal. And I'm like, that's what I'm getting. So wait a minute, why is Returnal woke now? Is Returnal woke? Because the same people like J-Tech championing Housemarque being purchased by Sony. Matter of fact, literally did a video called Sony Needs to Buy Bluepoint and Housemarque. But Housemarque makes a game where there's a female character who keeps dying and coming back like she's a herpy, and he's okay with that. Now, how come that's not woke? You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense. And I'm just coming from the fact that I can address it and say, yeah, there's a group of white men who say they're straight, who only want to play games as a white male and look at another man's butt, I guess. Which to me makes these guys are gay. And I want to make this clear. I don't care that they're gay. Okay? This is not gay bashing. You're gay, you're gay. If they like man's butt, they like man's butt. But I, as a black person, I played Uncharted, and I didn't get mad because Nathan Drake's a white guy. I didn't. I promise you I didn't. I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I didn't care that the guy, Ivor, is that their name? I didn't care that he was a white guy. I didn't care. Okay? The goal was to get to a certain, like I said, the goal is to get to this point. I don't care. So I just don't. Yeah, I saw somebody said Jack is woke. I don't know how. Because again, what are they going to say? Because she has bald hair? Because what? She's a kid? Her character in Mass Effect is only 24 years old, and she talks like a 24-year-old. So I don't get it. What if I were to say to you, most of the serial killers in America were white men? Okay, that's the truth. But I would get accused of bashing. Really? Here are the stats. and so at the end of the day, what has happened is that people, whether it be a black man or a black woman or a woman, whatever, they're in positions of power now, and they're making the decisions. And if Neil Druckmann again would have come to me, or even Amy Hennig, who shout out to Amy Hennig, who is doing, I think is it Amy Hennig, the one who worked at Naughty Dog, got fired. Now she's doing the Captain America, and she's doing the Black Panther game. Okay, what? I mean, I expect I'm going to buy that game, of course, because I like both those characters. I expect her version of Captain America, since it's 1942. I expect that version of Captain America to be a white guy. Because that's the character model, is he was a white guy. Now, the same comic book, they do a Captain America with Sam Wilson, who's black. And who's Captain America's best friend. According to the lore, he's Captain America's best friend. And so the Captain America that's coming out, Brave New World, and I'm going to go see it, is following that version of Captain America. But these guys are going to say it's woke. Even though they're like, well, we want, and the little guy was like, on Twitter was like, well, I just wanted to be true to the source material. Well, Captain America, Sam Wilson, is black. I mean, you can look at the comic books and see it. But they don't want that. They don't even want Miles Morales to be called Spider-Man. That's how fucked up these guys are. Okay? That's how fucked up these guys are. Even though Miles Morales is Spider-Man in the comic books, so it is historically accurate based on the Marvel comic book, it is no. That's not true. He can't be. The definitive Spider-Man is Peter Parker, a white guy. Yes, he's always going to be the definitive Spider-Man. No matter what, he will always be the definitive Spider-Man. But Miles Morales is a Spider-Man. So is Silk. Cindy Moon, she's also a Spider-Man. I don't know what Spider-Woman's name is. Hold on. Alexa, what is Spider-Woman's name? Okay, Jessica Drew. It's Spider-Woman. So again, to think that they're not going to put Jessica Drew, not Jessica Jones, Jessica Drew, okay, Miles Morales and Cindy Moon in a comic book, which they already have, in a movie, that's stupid. They're already going to do a Silk cartoon. They're already doing it. It's being done right now. And when it comes out, I guarantee you that these guys are going to say, well, it's woke. That's what they're going to say. So just understand what woke means. In their minds, woke means something is being forced on me and I'm going to push back. And because I'm pushing back, I may come off as racist, but really, I just want to stay on the source material. Okay, that's exactly what they're doing. But these are video game characters, and instead of these white guys doing what they told black men to do, which is to go ahead and get it out of the mud and get the education and start. There's a little blue bird on Twitter. There's a blue butterfly. And those guys have tried to come over to Blue Sky, but Blue Sky has the, they have the, I don't know what you want to call them. They have the mechanisms in place just to get rid of them. As soon as it sees that, they get one strike, which is a warning. They get reminded of the rules, and boom, they do it again. They're gone. They're gone. So, and you can't, that's why he wanted to get rid of the block button. So he don't care that he has races on his platform. I mean, it just is. So again, now let me make this clear. If you're tired of it, okay, why do you think I'm putting stuff on Rumble now? Okay? Versus getting, so I'm steadily moving off of YouTube. I'm not going to completely move off YouTube, but I will eventually start doing more things on Rumble. I just did it last week, my UFO show. If you don't have a Rumble account, you're not going to be able to watch it. Unless I can, well, maybe you can, I'm not sure. But I recommend you get a Rumble account because eventually, and a Blue Sky account, because eventually Sony is going to adapt Blue Sky so that we can start putting, the mic keeps cutting out, I'm sorry. Sony is going to adopt, let me turn this down, there. It's going to adopt Blue Sky so that we can put our pictures on there like we used to do on Twitter. How many remember putting their pictures on Twitter just you just click the button real fast, you take the snapshot, then you put it out, put the picture out. So that's what they're going to do on Blue Sky. It's just going to be what you used to do. So you'll be able to take your pictures of Captain America and Black Panther, or if you're playing Judas, or if you're playing Assassin's Creed, or if you're playing whatever, The Last of Us. So whatever. And people what cracked me up what MBG said was that Joel is one of his characters and that he wanted the story with Joel to keep going and that he didn't think Joel, quote, deserved what happened to him. That's what he said. And he felt misled by what happened. Even though The Last of Us is not Joel's story. It's always been Ellie's story. I mean, like literally, if you play The Last of Us, it literally, as you're playing the game, you feel it shifting towards this is Ellie's story. This is not Joel's story. Joel had his story. Now, he says, well, Naughty Dog should do a game where we see Joel, what happens after. Because there is a time jump, it's like 25 years. Between when Sarah dies, spoiler alert, when Sarah dies versus when he meets Ellie, okay? Because I think in the game, Joel Miller is supposed to be 50 years old. So I think there's a 25-year jump. Okay, a 25-year jump. What happened in that 25 years? Well, how about MBG write that story? How come MBG can't write that story? What's preventing him from writing the story? See what I'm saying? That's what you all need to start asking people. Hey, look, you want that type of story? You can write that story. What happened with Joel after Sarah died? What happened to humanity after that? What is it? Whatever that virus is called. What happened? It's okay to do that story, MBG. You see what I'm saying? And it's okay for you to write that story if that's what you want. Write your own stories. That's where your power is. That's why me and my friends are still writing that Star Wars story. We're not writing a movie script. We're just writing a story. And we get to make up the characters. We get to make up the timeline. We get to make up what's happening in the timeline. Nobody can stop us from doing anything like that. And this is up to you all as people. If you want change, you're going to have to be the change you want to be. You cannot wait for other people to do it. Because then you won't know what to do. Like you won't. And that is effed up. The audio is skipping? Really? Yeah, somebody else said that it was skipping. So all right then. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock. I do apologize if it is skipping. Here, let me take that off the screen. Maybe that'll help. There. Got everything else turned off. YouTube could be good. Yeah, YouTube. I'm having some issues with YouTube. Like I'm typing comments in different comment sections, and I can't see the comments until I click. You click the enter button, then my comment pops up. So I don't know if it's a YouTube problem. I cleared out the cache and all that kind of stuff. So I do apologize if it is skipping. Now, at some point, if you're behind, I did get up and had to go get some water, and then I got a phone call. So there are some dead air periods in this episode I do apologize for. So just so you know. So you wrote the end of The Last of Us 2. Well, I mean, yeah, and I've said, what about The Last of Us 2? I said my criticism is that it was too long, and that when Ellie went after, when she finally went after Abby, I thought that should have been DLC. That's me. That's me. Now that's what I believe. Now, am I going to sit up here and fricassee Naughty Dog because they did it their way? The answer to that is no. Because Naughty Dog wrote the story, and I thought the story itself was really good. I mean, you had two unstoppable forces going after each other, and if you remember Last of Us Part 2, Abby got the drop on Ellie 2 times. 2 times. And the third time, Ellie let her go. Ellie had her, right? Ellie had her. And Ellie, and to me, and I've said this before, I thought we as the gamer should have been given the choice on either to eliminate Abby or let her go. Now, that's just my opinion. Okay? Okay? That's my opinion. But it doesn't mean that they were wrong in the choices that they made. It's their story. They can do whatever the hell they want. Monty White says J-Tech be lost when it comes to the sub. Yeah, I know, because guys, I keep on trying to tell you, you got to watch out for the grift. Right now, the grift has changed. It's about the UAPs over New Jersey, okay? That's where the new grift is. So that's what everybody's talking about, right? Now, I've been talking about that stuff for years. I'm glad it's mainstreamed. What do I think it is? I talked about that on my podcast over on Rumble. You want to go find out what I think? It's over there. So it is what it is, guys. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. But ultimately, that's what this is about. Oh, come on. Well, that's spam. I'm not going to answer this. Spam. Okay. Yeah, I got one of those Google phones. It lets me know what's real numbers and what's fake numbers, right? Maybe they're calling to say that I'm woke. I don't know. So again, certainly hope that the mic has the mic gotten a little bit better. If not, I'll have to disconnect from the internet and reboot when I'm done here. So, but that's my little take on it. Again, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Because I use only podcasts for an hour. I mean, an hour and a half. So, but yeah, if Sony's going in the wrong direction, then ask if they're going in the wrong direction. Ask how come they won Game of the Year. And congratulations to Sony with ASTROBOT. Again, I haven't played the game. I don't particularly care for platformers, but obviously everybody that has played the game said the game was really good. Okay, so I have no problem with that. Again, it's all opinion. If you think Black Myth should have won, if you think that Final Fantasy should have won, which Final Fantasy VII was the favorite pretty much until what, the fall? Had they given that award out in July, Final Fantasy would have won. But again, Game of the Year is whatever you make it. My personal Game of the Year is Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm really enjoying that game. I'm really enjoying the game. But that's my Game of the Year though. What is yours? And certainly hope you all enjoyed the podcast. Hope y'all learned something. Okay. Go ahead, guys. Again, I've said this before. Write your own stories. Create your own characters. Then you can determine how the world is and what those characters do within that world. Same guy who, if you watch a TV show called Walking Dead, that's how he came up with that whole concept. Okay? That's how he did it. He created all those characters. He created all those different things that they're running into. That was all him. That's one man did that. One man. Okay? You can do it too. You can do it as well.